So this is my most used camera and lens setup for street photography and really anything in the past 12 months. It's the Sony a7C II paired with the Sony Zeiss 35mm f2.8. It's super light, it's packed with more modern features than I need, and that lens, I love it. It delivers beautiful contrast and colors, apparently characteristic of Zeiss optics, but I can't confirm that since it's my only Zeiss lens. But this is the setup I use to take some photos in the street of Hiroshima on a beautiful sunny morning. It's been a while since I shot in such conditions, so I'm happy to bring you along so you can see how I navigate the streets while I explain some shots that worked and maybe also others that were not as successful as expected. So let's get started with a few warm-up shots that I took in a small street with several retro-looking shops and restaurants with colorful storefronts. The lighting was still very soft, no sun rays really peeking through yet, as it was something like 6:30 AM. It's really just a few shots to get a feel for the focal length, which was much needed after recent photo walks I did using my 50mm instead of the 35. Nothing special happening here, but some simple documentary shots that will become more important when inevitably those shops will close down in a not so distant future. There's the light going through this little shrine, really illuminating this like a paper window. Like it quite a lot, but it's very much backlit, so as I reached the Peace Memorial Park, I saw the beautiful and fresh spring greenery nicely illuminated by the sunlight coming from the back. It created also a nice and clean patch of light on the street, making it ideal to have the subject nicely separated from the other elements of the frame. Subject separation, however you achieve it, whether it's with light, frame in the frame, or even bokeh, is one of the most important things to make an image clear and easy to understand for the viewer. I got a version of this photo with a cyclist and another one with someone on a moped, and I have to say I prefer the cyclist version. It pairs better with the beautiful surrounding nature, making the frame more quiet and peaceful. In the same fashion, I found a place for a composition showcasing the nice greenery while having a human subject in the frame. Again, in this one, the person in the photo would not be the main subject of the frame, it's more about capturing the whole scene, actually giving more emphasis to the greenery. I purposely composed my shot in a way to give more space to the tree. If I stood right in the middle and tried to capture a symmetrical shot with the person right in the middle of the frame, the greens that are in the shadow on the left side would have taken more space and taken some visual weight from the greens on the right that are hit by the light. I also carefully placed the border between the path and the turf in a way to create leading lines starting from the bottom left and right corners.
Da primeira vez que eu te vi, menina, meu coração pulou pra boca.
I've been quite busy with work and family visiting us in Japan, and it will be like that for another month at least, so I don't really have the time to plan and organize photo trips to different locations and new places. In such a context, I still want to keep the momentum and keep a regular photography practice while being quite pragmatic and not overthinking where I'm going to shoot. To make things simple, I just go to the city center of Hiroshima, not far from home, and I don't really decide on specific location to shoot. Instead, I decide on my starting point and the direction I will walk towards depending on the time of the day. I like facing the light to create some strong and interesting contrasts. You can place yourself more on the shadow side of the subject or the street you are shooting to create more dramatic contrast and make your image look a lot more crispy and 3D looking. Thinking more about the light than your location can really make your photo outings more fun and turn very familiar places into something worth photographing. Some may find this one boring, but I increasingly like to capture the overlooked details and little buildings like this one. It is not the main attraction in the Peace Memorial Park, but it is probably as important as the other. They probably store some gardening tools and other stuff to keep this place clean, which is an essential piece to this park and making the experience visiting it as good as it is now. This little storage is blending into its environment in a very Japanese way, functional yet respectful of nature. Technically speaking, I love the contrast we have between the upper half with the greens that are backlit and the lower half that is in the shadow and a lot less colorful. For this next photo, I tried making a panorama. It is something I have tried plenty of times, but in most cases without finding success. Here the result is quite decent, and to achieve that I locked my exposure and focus, then I captured a series of photos panning from left to right, trying to stay stable and with the same angle all the way through. Then I stitched the images together with the Lightroom built-in tool, not revolutionary, but a nice way to achieve some expand looking images with a normal camera and a normal lens.
Meu coração pulou pra boca. Corpão assim não se vê nem na revista, nem no TikTok, no Instagram de artista. O corpo de mestiça, de tanta coisa boa, te quero dar beijo.
Here I love the light and how the main building in the center is framed by, on one side, some greenery, and on the other side, a very sleek and modern looking building. There was also a nice patch of light in the bottom left part of the frame, perfect to place a subject in. I also got almost the best subjects I could hope for. A group of young runners came in and ran through the patch of light, but what ruined this shot is what happens behind them. The light turned green, and obviously some cars and buses were on the road as I took this shot, breaking any sort of subject separation. The runners are being lost in the frame as they are rather dark, and the car behind them is also dark. It would have worked better with no cars behind, or even just a big white bus to get that subject separation and elevate this shot to another level. A missed opportunity, but I will take note of that and come back at a similar time with similar weather conditions.
De mestiça, de tanta coisa boa, te quero dar beijo na garoa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa. Te quero dar beijo na garoa.
So that's what I meant about the light turning everyday stuff into something nice and worth photographing. I was attracted by the red tablecloth, and I liked how gazing the light hitting the chair was. This place also has a cozy European style cafe feel and a terrace, which is something we don't really see often in Japan. I also like the sense of anticipation you get from watching these empty seats before it gets filled during lunchtime. Here I found interesting how the light was bouncing off the glass and steel building behind me to land on these much older structures, casting this surreal striped pattern all over the building facade. The texture of the tiled wall already had some character on its own, but with that layered shadow play, it really looks special. I also like how almost monochromatic the final image is. It's mostly blue, there is really a touch of orange and red on the right edge, but otherwise everything is aqua and blue. This photo has an analogous color palette. This one works because of how clean and graphic it feels. The scene is full of sharp angles, hard surfaces, and that cold steel and glass palette you get in business districts. I waited to have someone in the middle of the frame, where there is almost a frame in the frame. I mean, it's not a complete frame because it's missing half of it, but the wall and the little roof coming from the right side directs the attention to the center where the subject is. The little light patch on the ground is also helping to create that frame and achieve subject separation. The man's outfit was exactly what this composition needed, something neutral and monotone. frame leans heavily on atmosphere. It's quiet, you have the morning stillness in an otherwise busy looking place. Almost everything is shut and there's not a sound in the background. But then there's that one man pushing a cart caught in the sunbeam that cuts diagonally through the frame. He becomes the anchor of that photo, not just because he's the only person, but because the light is literally spotlighting him. The colors help too. The vivid yellow and red sign is so loud, yet it doesn't overwhelm the image because it's balanced by the more muted tones of the surrounding architecture. For this one, I wanted to show how I use the masks in Lightroom to really shape the light even more. The source material is already good, with the beautiful light I had that morning. It is coming from the top left corner, so I added a radial mask with a high feather, boosting slightly the exposure and the midtones in the curve. I selected the vending machine using the Select Object mask to bring it up a bit. I boosted the shadows and the midtones again. And finally, I brushed over the darker areas and made them even darker with minus exposure and a slight curves going down. Here I noticed that I could play with the reflection since there was a clear white backdrop creating a silhouette with anyone walking down the street. I thought I could try to match the timing and having one person in the reflection and another one coming down the street in the left side of the frame. What I noticed afterwards was also the white balance contrast coming naturally from the cooler part in the right side of the frame with the reflection and the much warmer left side with the direct sunlight. This image leans heavily on color and timing. The red signage, the vending machines, and even the cab's roof light build a visual rhythm that guides the eye from left to right. The vending machines act like anchors, they are bright as the light was hitting them, while the passing taxi adds a moment of life and contrast with its darker tones. This frame is almost a cliché of Japan. You have the ramen shop, the vending machines, and the taxi, but I like it, I must say. Nice light hitting this red bench, contrasting well with the greenery around. Simple, yet effective. This image falls into the category of image I like, but I can't really explain why. I have a few of them in my library, not too much, but sometimes they happen and I love them for how they look. There's a bit of red and green on the left side, the colors and the composition are quite dense but not chaotic. The flowers are standing out nicely and having them out of focus works, I think. I can try longer, but I would not be able to formulate something that makes a lot of sense, I think. I just like it. So that's another one in the book, and thanks a lot for watching and your continued support, much appreciated, and see you next time. Bye.